ALS, Alternative Learning Systems.
This discussion is on the backlash against Xi Jinping and China in general right now, which is going on, because China and its economy and the whole leadership is in a tight spot right now, and things are not going exactly the way Chinese would like to go. In fact, first of all, the hardline policy of the President Xi Jinping is somehow, it seems that it is backfiring. First of all, there is a big backlash against Xi Jinping and his policies in the developed world. Some of the countries like Australia and New Zealand, and they are completely, they feel bullied by the Chinese, the policies and the way they are exporting the goods to their markets. US is already in a trade war with China, and Donald Trump has become a big critic of China. He is showering abusive words also against the Chinese today, and he has imposed taxes on most of the goods imported by US from China. Even some of the advanced industrial nations like Germany, South Korea, and they are all feeling as if it is like an unstoppable train coming to them, completely bulldozing whatever they are trying to protect. So the developed nations are fully threatened and feeling threatened by the Chinese aggressiveness in exporting their products to them. Similarly, in the neighborhood, among the developing countries, say in Asia, the backlash is again very clear. India is feeling threatened by China and the Chinese goods. Even in the RCEP discussion, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership discussion, India's main worry is the Chinese goods. Then India is also opposing their Belt and Road Initiative. Even many critics are pointing out that this is a debt trap for many countries. Their infrastructure project is a debt trap for many of the smaller countries. Then countries like even Malaysia and Myanmar, after the change of government in Malaysia, even in Myanmar, they are becoming increasingly concerned about the Chinese projects and the strings attached to them. And many a times these projects are not even transparent. The way the Chinese are coming and completely bulldozing things. Malaysian Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad is a big critic of the Chinese investment, the style of investment by Chinese. Even we have seen in Maldives, after the change of government, suddenly the Soli government has completely concerned about the Chinese investment. In Sri Lanka, we have already seen, after the Rajpaksha government changed, when the new government, the Sirisena government came to power, they are also very cautious about the Chinese investment. Now, not only this, now you see the protests in Hong Kong, and the protest in Hong Kong is not much to do with one particular bill. It is the perception in Hong Kong that the Chinese government and the Xi Jinping is hard on them, and they are not, China is bullying them. That is why the Hong Kong protests are coming. Even the South China dispute, the smaller countries like Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, all of them are feeling threatened by the Chinese hardline position, especially the hardline position taken by Xi Jinping after he came to power in 2012. Now, the backlash is not only outside, so among the developed countries it is there, among the developing countries it is there. Now, the general feeling by many experts, the China watchers, the China experts, they are claiming that slowly some discontent is brewing within China also. This is a matter of concern for Xi Jinping. So, especially right now, it is true that Xi Jinping is unique in post-revolutionary party politics, and he may not have any identifiable domestic rival or successor right now. But many enemies, or rather good as well as bad enemies, are emerging after because of his hardline policy. One big issue where he created the real enemies within the country is because of his crusade against the so-called corruption or the anti-corruption campaign, and he has destroyed many once powerful and rich families in China. In fact, his model is not just arresting and dethroning some of those old corrupt generals or the former Politburo members. He is trying to eliminate and completely, I will say, make these people poor by taking away not only the property and the money of their members, even their own near and dear ones and the family members. So the entire family or the entire associates are suddenly become penniless because of his campaign against the corruption. And many for the sons of the former leaders and the Chinese scholars, they are all fearing that this kind of a bulldozing and bullying of the former leaders and some even if they are corrupt, he is creating too many enemies, and according to some experts, at least 400 such big shots of the past has been completely made penniless by his action, and that means he has created too many enemies within the country because of his action. That is the general fear. This is the general feeling the many experts are having, and the main problem, as I told you, it is not that the investigation is against a particular individual or an official. They are targeting, and he is targeting hundreds and thousands of people who are tied into that or who are associated with them, making the whole group penniless. So this is actually creating many enemies for him in China. And the second point is the Chinese economy is slowing down, and because of his slowing down of the economy, problems are slowly emerging. The exports are slowing down, and in outside there is a lot of backlash against the exports. So the economy is under stress, and many experts feel that it is a matter of time before there will be a downturn and a downslide in Chinese economy. That is what many independent experts are claiming and thinking, because China has reached an unsustainable stage already. So the economy is not in good shape. And another point which many experts are talking about right now is, even though there is no uprising in the immediate uprising, there is no chance of any uprising in the immediate future, but the way the president has converted himself to a president for life in 2018 has not gone down well with many people. See, in fact, for your information, in 2018, he changed some of the provisions in the Communist Party system, whereby he removed the two-term clause for the president. Now, literally, that means in 2018, he removed it. So, he became the president in 2012. In 17, he got re-elected, reconfirmed as the president again. His term is to be end by 2022. Generally, the party system is such that after 2 terms, the president should step down and somebody else will become the president. But in 2018, he removed that in the party congress. This has not gone down well, and that means, for technically speaking, he can continue to be president for life. But at the time, it was thought that there may not be any challenge also for him. But now things are changing and dramatically, and many feel that it may not be that easy for him to continue because of the slowing down of the economy as well as the slow opposition which is emerging. And moreover, many experts feel that he has overreached and he has overstretched the Chinese foreign policy, especially in the confrontationist mindset with which he is fighting. Even for India, we have seen that the relationship with China started deteriorating after 2012 because of the hardline position taken by China. In South China Sea, hardline position and his relationship with the Southeast Asian countries, Philippines, Vietnam, all of them has deteriorated. With the US, we have seen it has completely deteriorated. Now the trade war is going on. So his position, his that hardline position in foreign policy is not well appreciated within the Chinese leaders also. And most importantly, once he removed that two-term clause, Xi has confirmed his critics' view that he is an unrepentant autocrat willing to take China backward. That is the feeling which is coming, because he is here to stay at any cost. Otherwise, what is the need for him to remove in 2018 that two-term clause? That is the question asked by many. So that means he has shown his intentions. So now people will look, even in the party congress as in the Politburo, people will start looking at him from that perspective, his intention to stay longer than 2022. So any step taken will be, there is some sort of a backlash is slowly emerging. So his supremacy, or till recently the Chinese leaders were comfortable because of the economic growth. But now the economic growth is also slowing down. That is where the concerns are there, and things are slowly stacking up against him right now. And many factors are going to be totally against him. Number one, China's slowing economy, and also the rapidly declining demographic, because population growth has come down and the working population is declining, age population is increasing. So that is a real tough situation which is being created in China now because of the sudden or the rapid decline in the birth rate and the demographics, we can say. So definitely Xi can argue and say that because of the slowing economy and the rapidly declining demographics, China needs me more. That is what he can argue. Only I can save China. That is what he will be arguing. But at the same time, this can also be counterproductive. There is more likely that it will work against him, because more discontent will be emerging against him. So it's a very tight situation for him. Even economically it is very tight. The fiscal situation is going to be very tight. Then till now the Chinese policy was to use their money power, purchase the dictators outside, purchase Rajpaksha, purchase the former Maldivian president that Yamin, purchase the African leaders. Wherever there is a problem, you purchase them because they have plenty of money. They were using the same policy even within the country. They throw money on every problem, at every problem. If there is a problem in a province, they bail out the province by using the money. Use the money and purchase the leaders and solve the problem. So many cash-strapped local governments were given money to fall in line. But now in future, because of the economic slowdown, this way find it may be difficult for him to purchase every leader and solve every problem using money. And the fourth problem I would like to say is that within the country, especially the Uyghur province, the western province, which is bordering India and Pakistan in the Kashmir region, where the China-Pakistan economic corridor is passing, the Uyghur province, the discontent is increasing. The predominant Muslim population there are separatist movement going on, and the China's Belt and Road Initiative is actually passing through Uyghur province. That is where the China-Pakistan economic corridor will begin, and also all the Central Asian republics are connected. So the problems in Uyghur province is not going to go down. It is not going to die down. It is going to be there. So there is problem in Uyghur province. There is problem in Hong Kong. See, that is a reflection of the frustration of the Chinese people. Hong Kong has lot of autonomy, lot of freedom, democracy is there. So any hint of that authoritarian rule from China is unacceptable to the Hong Kong people. So that means the Chinese, by birth, they are not that subdued people. They would like to ascertain their rights. So the people till now, not many problem in China, mainly because the economy is performing. When there is economy performing, this discontent will not be that that explicit. It will be muted. But now, once the economy is slowing down, world leaders are also becoming very, very, very cautious and wary of this kind of a very, muscle power, that the economic muscle which is being used by Chinese. Developed countries are completely shaky. Developing countries like India and the surrounding countries are really worried about the Chinese high-handedness in many cases. So things are not going to be that easy for Xi Jinping. But word of caution is, there is no immediate successor or there is no immediate challenger for him in China. No immediate uprising against him. But things are brewing. Tough days ahead for Xi Jinping. The expectation in early 2018 or late 2017 that he is going to be there as a president for life, that may not become fruitful. 2022 is far away if you look that way. If the economy did not revive, which is unlikely to revive because China has reached a tipping point. Belt and Road Initiative, after the initial enthusiasm, many countries are having a second thought, or rather definitely they will be looking at the other angle, the debt trap, and the lack of transparency is going to definitely bite the Chinese. Chinese are trying to purchase everything through using their money, but in the process they are purchasing only corrupt leaders in the developing countries in Africa and Asia. They are not able to win over the people's heart. So tough time for them outside, tough time for their export, because the Chinese economy is critically dependent on their exports. And if the domestic discontent is also brewing, it may not be that easy for Xi Jinping to have that endless rule as he thought maybe in 2018. So it is going to be tough, and tough for Chinese economy also. If economy goes down the barrel, definitely the leadership will be under tremendous pressure, and the unquestioned the communist rule in China can come under stress in the coming years.